IELTS listening is taken by both general training and academic candidates and is designed to cover the full range of ability from non-user to expert user. It covers the basic survival skills in a broad social and educational context, as well as the skills required for academic purposes. While IELTS listening section is the same in both test versions, academic and general training, there is certain difference between general and academic spoken English. Regardless of the test version you take, IELTS listening tests understanding of both general English in transactional situations, such as making arrangements for transport, accommodation, and leisure activities, and academic situations, such as taking part in a seminar or listening to a lecture. In addition, candidates listen to both conversations and monologues. In each case, the context, purpose, and relationship between speakers will affect the language used. There are some general guidelines you need to follow in order to get the most out of your test. First and foremost, listen carefully to the introduction to each section. This will give you useful information about the situation and the speakers. Use the time at the beginning of each section and in the middle of sections 1 to 3 to look through the questions and think about the topic. You also need to read the instruction for each task carefully. Remember to check the maximum number of words allowed. If you exceed the word limit, you get no mark for that question, even if the right answer is included in what you wrote. You must write all your answers as you listen. Remember, you won't hear the recording a second time. Answer all the questions, even if you don't feel sure about one answer. You may have understood more than you think. At a given time, at the end of each part, I strongly recommend to check your answers and make sure what you have written makes sense in the context. Always wait until the end of the test to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. You have 10 minutes for this purpose, which is plenty of time. Don't waste your precious preparation time during the listening for this purpose. Write clearly when you transfer your answers from the question booklet into the answer sheet. If an answer isn't clear on your answer sheet, you will lose the mark. Always remember to check your spelling and, of course, grammar where necessary. And something for peace of your mind. Don't worry if you have to cross out or change an answer. And don't panic if you miss one question. Look ahead and concentrate on the next one. Don't try to rephrase what you hear. Write down the words you hear which fit the question and don't write more than the maximum number of words or letters allowed. Don't copy any words that were printed on the question paper when you transfer your answers to the answer sheet. To improve your English listening ability, it is good to actually start from our own native languages and see how we listen in our own language. There are some secrets there which help us to cope with IELTS listening better. Listening involves both linguistic and non-linguistic knowledge. Linguistic knowledge includes understanding of lexemes, vocabulary and words, grammar, phonology, and discourse. Non-linguistic knowledge may include understanding of the context or situation, the topic, and the purpose of the interaction. When we listen in our first language, we apply both types of knowledge at the same time to make sense of what we hear. We can use our existing knowledge to predict what might come next and check each prediction in the light of the information we receive. By using these skills, we can make sense of input in which individual sounds may be unclear, either because of background noise or because they are affected by other sounds in the stream of speech. We can also understand the meaning carried out by stress and intonation, and we can hold pieces of information in our short-term memory long enough to relate it to further information given later on. In addition, we are able to interpret not just the surface meaning of the information conveyed, but the underlying attitudes and opinions. These basics can greatly help us to develop listening skills in a foreign language. In the IELTS listening, it is crucial to establish and understand the context and purpose of the interaction clearly. The information given to us at the start of each part of the listening is of great benefit for this purpose. When we are practicing for IELTS outside the classroom, there is an increasing number of opportunities for students of English to listen to different varieties of English through leisure and educational activities on video and TV, through songs or computer and internet activities, as well as through interaction with other speakers of English. Our aim throughout this course is to develop techniques and instructions to help you find the answers. These instructions will help you to concentrate on important elements of your test and prevent you from getting distracted by less important things. After all, remember that you have a very strict time and you must get the most out of it by using your English competency wisely. In order to develop the listening techniques and instructions, we combine the format and the aim of each section together with the question types which are likely to appear in each of the sections. This approach will enable us to cover all the question types along with all sections at the same time. What really is tested in IELTS listening is your ability to understand the verbal information. When you take part in a conversation or you're subject to verbal information while listening to a monologue or a lecture, for example. A crucial skill that helps you a lot is to understand your role in the communication. In IELTS listening, you have a role in the conversation or are the audience of a lecture. However, since it is not practical to let you speak, someone else plays your role. By understanding which of the speakers you are, you can focus more on the information you need to receive and understand. This role may change during the conversation, so it is not a constant. It may change as the conversation progresses. For example, in section 1, you are listening to a conversation between a hotel front desk officer and a customer who wants to check in. As the conversation goes, the customer asks some questions to obtain some information. In this case, you are playing the role of the customer. Imagine that it is you asking for information and need to receive and understand the responses. In other parts of the conversation, the front desk officer may ask questions to fill the check-in form for the hotel guest. There you are playing the hotel staff who needs to receive and understand the information from the guest.